Hey, early birds. Say hello when you come in the room. Let me know what city you representing. I see you. I can't see names or profile pictures just yet. So type something. Let me know it's you. I love coming on early. I call this the green room. So I feel like we're behind the scenes before a big event and we're just chatting. So we have our cute little juices. Today I have green tea from Dunkin' Donuts mixed with lemonade. Fancy, right? Hello, Patrina. How are you? What city you represent, girl? Hopefully you got your journals and your pen and you're ready to go. Hello, Allison from NY in the room, in the house, in the building. Hey, girl. Let me also know, what is your number one expectation for today? Like, what is one thing you're hoping to walk away with today? Because I want to know. We're going to get into it. Yesterday was super fun. How many of you were here yesterday? Let me do your little, y'all know. Let me see you. Cayman Islands. Okay, I got to remember. Patrina, Cayman Islands. So back in the day, when I used to certify everybody, we had a coach, one of your police detectives from the Cayman Islands flew up. He and his family trained with me for a day and then flew back. His name is Ian, or Coach Ian, shall I say. And I used to look forward to his calls. They would come from these different numbers than we're used to here in Atlanta, Georgia, USA. And I see you, black hand sides. But yeah, we got a coach in the Cayman Islands. Cool guy, cool family. And he called for months. Like, he really planned his trip. He's like, we're going to make the best of this. We're going to make it a family affair. They stayed at the same hotel that we used to rent the conference space for. Yes, it's Ian Levine. How do you know Ian? OMG. You got to tell Ian, you know, Coach AJ, formerly Coach AJ, but now Dr. AJ. He's probably going to be like, give me your number right now. Give me her number. So Ian is one of our certified coaches. That is so amazing. It's such a small world, right? As soon as you said Cayman Islands, I thought of him. Y'all go to the same church. Tell him Dr. AJ said hello. He's going to be like, who? Be like, she was Coach AJ when she trained you. So he trained with me 2018, 2017 or so. You'll see him today in one of our pictures. He was one of our first 110. This is so amazing. I love it. See why I tell y'all to rep your city? You just never know. Our coaches, y'all go to the same church. Y'all down the street from each other. Y'all like breathing the same air. That's amazing, Patrina. Yeah. So yes, you'll have to connect with Coach Ian and tell him I said hello. Let him know that you hung out with me. He's going to have a billion questions. He is the coolest guy, though. Yes, let him know. And I think he has my email, too, so I'm pretty sure I'll hear from him as soon as you do. What other cities are in the building, in the room, in the house? What city are you representing? I need to see your cities that you're representing. I need to see your, on the black hand side, we had our tutorial yesterday about how to change your hands from yellow. Who was that yesterday? Like, why is my hand yellow? So we had to do a quick little how to change your hand to the brown skin, girl. Hey, I told y'all I quote songs and scripture, right? JC Morgan is in Houston. Welcome. I know you said you would be here today in our post earlier this morning. What's one expectation you have for today, JC? What are you hoping to get out of it? You too, Patrina. What you want to get out of it today? Urenki. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. If I'm mispronouncing your name, like spell it out like Hooked on Phonics style, like how it's supposed to be pronounced. Like if your name was a word in the dictionary and the dictionary is just trying to help us to pronounce it, spell it out like that so I can get it because I want to remember it. I too have a unique ethnic name. Hopefully that's not offensive to you. But yeah, I know how it is. I'm an Ika, so I go by AJ to make it easy for everybody, okay? Paulina is fine. Okay, cool, thank you. I wanted to try. I hate messing up names because I hate when people mess up my name. Who else is in the house? What city are you repping? What's your number one expectation of the day? Y'all talk to me. This is why I came on early. We'll start in about 9 minutes. We're on a little bit of a tight schedule today. I double booked. So y'all will hear about 3 alarms go off today, reminding me to log on to another meeting that I had scheduled, but I'm going to be here with you guys for the full 60 minutes. I did everything I could today to rearrange our schedule to make sure we got our 60 minutes in. Tomorrow we'll be together for about 60 minutes. And then day 4 and 5, we'll be together for about 90 minutes. So you guys plan for that this Thursday, this Friday, about 90 minutes. We're going to hang out because I want to make sure that I can just like lean into, breathe into, be there for you guys, answer your questions, talk you through what it takes to become a professionally trained, skilled, qualified, certified Black woman Christian life coach. I want to be present for you. Okay. So thank y'all for being here. Thank you for being early. You get something. I ain't going to say much. Y'all, nobody did it yesterday. I said, maybe my hints weren't clear enough, but if you tag a coach that's in this group, and again, I call all of you coaches, even if you're not yet certified, it's okay, sis, we're speaking life. The power of life and death lies in the tongue. But if you tag a coach that's here in this group, tell them we're live. You just never know what's in it for you. I'm going to put it like that, okay? I love engagement when we do these activities throughout our time together. I love when y'all talk back. That's why I come on early, asking about your city and what you want to get out of today. So hopefully you're not trying to multitask. I know some of y'all be yelling at the kids. Some of y'all be cooking. I don't know. If you're like me, you're probably driving. I'll be doing a whole lot on masterclasses too, but I need you to take just a few seconds to hone in and tag a fellow coach here in the group. Let her know we're live because we're in this thing together, okay? So I also come on early to give you guys a chance to jump on and find us. I know Patrina said some of us still at work. I know with your time zone being different, I totally understand. I'm here on the East Coast, here in Atlanta. That's why Ian would call so much, trying to like line up. When does class start? When should my flight? When should the, So I totally get the different time zones. We have a couple coaches in California. We have some other East Coasters. We have some Central Standard Timers. Y'all, I can't calculate all of that every time. So I just stick with Eastern, and I'll leave it up to you guys because you're so smart to go and plug it into Google and match up the times. This is also why we have replays, and the replays are going to be up until Friday, April 1st. At 11:59 Eastern Standard Time to give you guys a chance to get home, cook you something, get you a glass of wine, and hit rewind on this thing and come watch me act crazy. I'm a little mellow today, though. I've had dinner, we'll call it that. It was really good. A loaded veggie potato, half of one because they make them so big. JC says she's at the doctor's office, so you'll rewatch later. Awesome. Yeah, if you're out in public, make sure you got me in your headset because I say crazy stuff. Your kids and family might have questions like, what you doing? Who is this crazy person? So whatever you need to do to accommodate yourself. Thank you again for being here. We're going to dive in about 5 minutes. I'm waiting on somebody to tag somebody. Y'all need to learn how to multitask, coaches. Come on now. This is part of coaching. Got to learn how to let people know, hey, look at what's going on in my world. Look at where I am. Look at what I'm doing. That's kind of like lifestyle coaching, a day in the life type coaching, where you're bragging that you're learning and getting this extra knowledge. Sorry, I just dropped my index cards on the floor and I don't want them to get dirty. Any newbies in here who has not repped their city just yet? Also am waiting to hear what you want to learn from today. Let me go off camera. I got to blow my nose. Excuse me, y'all. If I got some in my nose, y'all better tell me. Don't let me record this whole thing and have a booger in my nose, okay? I'm just saying. Let me double check. Oh yeah, I forgot Facebook is on a 10-second delay. Okay, cool. 5 minutes, we'll dive in. Hopefully those who said they will be here will show up. Let me turn y'all up, make sure. Okay, there we go. Hopefully those who said they will. All right, so I'm gonna leave this up. We are counting down. So maybe tomorrow I'll be about 5 minutes early instead of 15. Any specific question that you're hoping is addressed tonight? Let me know in the comments. Again, this is our green room time, just time to chat. I got on early. Technology is good. All of my tabs are shut down. Hopefully yours are too. Okay. See what I'm looking for. Make sure you guys can still hear me. Give you guys a chance to talk to me in the comments below, okay? We got about 3 minutes. Uh-oh. There we go. All right. Talk to me in the comments. I'll be right back. All right, coaches, let's dive in. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Thank you guys again for being here. I'm going to go ahead and open us up and start us off with prayer. Heads bowed, eyes closed. Let me woosah. Channel in for today. Hopefully you're in a place where you can meditate on God with me. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this day. Lord, day 2 of this challenge, this masterclass, this time that you've allowed us to come together online and learn how to become professionally trained, skilled, qualified, Black women certified Christian life coaches, God, doing your work, the work of the Lord under your instruction, under your unction, your Holy Spirit, your anointing, your calling. Thank you for letting us learn how to pursue our passion with purpose and leading us and guiding us, God. Fill our hearts tonight, God. Meet us here, oh Lord. Direct our path as well as our conversation. Your Holy Spirit is welcome in this place, God. We thank you. We repent of and for our sins and for the wrong that we've done in our lives. Lord, I ask you to cover each and every family that's represented, each and every city and state, God. We just thank you for the community that we can come together in this private Facebook group and just worship you through the gifting that you've placed in our lives and on our path. Thank you for that vision. We ask that you would continue to order our steps, and it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Let me see some amens in the comments if y'all ready to dive in. This is Coach Andrea Harris, just telling you guys what it's like to be a Black woman Christian certified life coach. She is one of our recent coaches. As you can see, that beautiful brown bald head. She specializes in working with clients who also have alopecia. So she has alopecia. I have alopecia, thin sides, long story, but she also encouraged and inspired me to embrace that side of me. I always have. And most people don't notice until I point it out, but just thinner sides. I've had it all my life. She went ahead and cut off all of her hair. And she also works with women who are dealing with the whole self-esteem issue and things like that. So this is just one example of the many coaches who have come through our training and have different specializations. So that's something for you to keep in mind. She was really happy that she invested in herself and the future of her business. We had a long conversation when she got certified with me about where she could go. She's one of our coaches in our exclusive coaching community. Once she gets certified, she's a part of the Ladies of Legacy. So I wanted to start out with sharing her with you guys. And also to just welcome you today too. Y'all ready? So those of you who were here with us yesterday, let's fill in our replay viewers and those who were not here live with us that are here live today. Talk to them, okay? Let them know what your takeaway was from yesterday. I also want you guys to let me know what's one thing you're hoping to take away from today. Because coming up, we're going to talk about the 8 modales of coaching, meaning how coaching can be delivered. Just in case you didn't know, I'm going to let you know that or refresh your memory. You're going to also meet the first 110 coaches that I certified. We didn't get a chance to dive into that on yesterday's training, but here we are today. We're going to breeze through that real quick. You may see some familiar faces, some neighbors, some churchgoers, fellow churchgoers. I'm also going to tell you why now is the time to become a Black woman Christian certified life coach and how Black life coaches make money and how much money you can make. It's really unlimited, but I'm going to show you some examples. Then we're going to dive into, if we have enough time, I'm praying we do, toes crossed, fingers crossed, to dive into the 3 common coaching categories, because you need to choose one of the 3 if you're really pursuing becoming a certified life coach with me here soon. And then you're going to hear from one of our Black women Christian certified life coaches, and you're going to meet a few of our other professionally trained, skilled, qualified Black women Christian certified life coaches. How does that sound? Let me see some in the comments. Now, if you're new here, welcome. This represents, y'all know what this is in sign language, in Black sign language, when you be like, was she? That's what that represents. So anytime I do that, that means put up your emoji, a brown hand, brown skin. Get it? Okay, welcome. So I didn't want y'all to feel left out. So that was our inside joke from yesterday. No more yellow hands, all brown hands. Hello, Coach Lillian. How are you? So Black women make up less than 9% of the life coaching industry, according to Zappia.com. And this statistic alone is why now is the best time to become a professionally trained, skilled, qualified, certified Black woman Christian life coach. That's a lot of, 8 is the number of completion. Okay. So now this is actually representative of African Americans in general. I just threw the women in there because if Black people make up 9% of this $24 billion industry, remember we talked about that yesterday, that's not including just Black women. And then you break it down to just Black Christian women. Come on, y'all, that's less than probably, I don't even want to guess. I'm nervous about the number that's not represented here. So y'all needed to know that statistic. You may have also heard me quoted in the documentary on yesterday, but this is why you're here, right? If you missed the documentary yesterday, hello, my name is Dr. AJ Austin. I am a 6-figure earner. I have also helped other companies reach 6 figures, other coaching companies, that is. So we're actually about 90 days away from our first 6 figures. So let me update that number, okay? And I love that my partnerships has brought me here, having trained and certified about 185 coaches around the world. Coach Lillian's one. I think Coach Lillian, you trained with me in what, 2016 or so? We have coaches everywhere from North America, the Cayman Islands, Vietnam, coaches in Australia have also purchased our products. So it's so exciting. They do so through my books. I have 16 books. Yes, 16. It's a lot of work. You can find me on Amazon. However, I give away all my books in my training, so it's an added bonus I'll tell you about coming up, but just wanted to let you know your girl been working, okay? I am the new owner of Data Media, and those are my initials. I could break that down for you a whole lot later, but I'm officially a producer, as you guys know, director, writer, and filmmaker of the documentary Lady of Legacy. And these are ways you can continue to follow me after our masterclass, in between our masterclasses, over at blacklifecoachradio.com. We also own blacklifecoachtv.com, which is our YouTube channel specifically with hundreds upon hundreds of videos to help Black women get into becoming a professionally trained, skilled, qualified Black woman, Christian certified life coach, okay? You also got a chance to see our documentary style film yesterday. And these are some of the partnerships, you know, like the as seen on banners that you see on a lot of people's pages. Well, since the age of 14, I've held about 23 different part-time and full-time jobs. I too was that volunteer. Remember, we went over coaching qualities yesterday. So I volunteered and held a lot of leadership positions within my church, my community, my corporations. And within the last few years, I have spent a few of the most recent opportunities with being with Facebook. I mentioned that I'm in their Facebook leadership network and on their user research team, or UX. I should just start saying that because I always get tongue tied. And also the Public Gardens Association, when they came and did their national conference here in Atlanta, called upon me to help them tell a better story to get more funding. That was super exciting. And that's some of the film clips you got to see in the documentary on yesterday's training as well. I also have partnered with BBI, or the Brunner Business Institute. How many of you guys are familiar with the Brunner brothers, the Black millionaire family here in Atlanta that owns the hair care line, the Black hair care products? Those are my guys, okay? So I will show you some pictures coming up of my affiliations with them and others. But BBI specifically is the Brunner Business Institute that was founded by one of the Brunner brothers, Bishop Dale Brunner of, he has a cathedral here in Atlanta. That's where I pay my tithes to online. That is a company that invested in me for years upon years upon years, just going through the family line. And again, they are one of the Black millionaire families I'm affiliated with, as well as the Herndon Foundation. They were one of the first millionaire Black families here in Atlanta, and I've been their guest speaker for what they call, I think it was young entrepreneurs. I'm not sure. I was their keynote speaker on this big stage, all these kids graduating, being raised up and groomed properly, professionally to become the next millionaire. And I think that's so cool to have a partnership like that. And then recently I've spoken with the Attention Deficit Disorder Association, or ADD.org. They love that I wrote one of my 16 books on organizing as an entrepreneur. So we talked about focus and time management and all the things that I have written about in my book. So that's just a reintroduction of who I am, just in case you're new here. You may have missed the first training. Maybe you wanted to know a little bit more about me. You're welcome. There you go. This here is my certificate, you guys. I got certified in 2013. And this was that OG certificate for successfully completing my training. I did a 2-day intensive. It was about a 16-hour day. I studied my notes from that class. I reread the training manual. I read tons of additional books, including my coach's, because he too had written so many books. And I remember leaving the training with all of his books and DVDs and CDs that he sold into my life. And that's why, part of the reason why I give away my books now, because people have sold into me. And so after watching his DVDs and so many others and online video trainings and countless hours of cassette tapes. Y'all remember cassette tapes? Yeah, I used to listen to Zig Ziglar and Susie Orman and Tony Robbins on cassette tape, y'all. And then on CDs and in audiobooks. And I, in the beginning, would attend any special event, conference, summit, panel, symposium, teleconference, webinar, seminar, anything I could get access to, I was there. If I could get my hands on it, I was there. I was learning, I was taking notes, and I was going out and taking action, implementing it in my business. And so what I learned in my training in my certification, plus that framed certificate that you see before you, that hung on my home office wall, which was literally in the downstairs basement of my mom's old home that I took over after she passed away. But when I would look up and see that on the wall, y'all, it just gave me exactly what I needed. That permission deep down inside to scratch the itch, knowing that I was ready to start my new journey as a certified life coach and serve greater in my purpose. How many of you guys can see your name on a certificate if you don't have one already? Or maybe it's time to dust off the dust, blow off the digital dust on your certificate and get back out there. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments, because this right here that you see before you, $82,805.72, shows you what's possible as a coach. To go from reading books, studying my bagoogles off, whatever that means, and getting to a point where I'm now training online. This represents the last 24 months, working about 10 hours a week, right here, sitting in some jogging pants as my bottom, my company shirt, looking cute on camera from the neck up for y'all, in my house shoes, in my little cozy socks, teaching and training, okay? So I work part-time. So I'm always embarrassed when people ask me how many hours a week I work in my business. I'm like, technically, what do you consider work? Because I ain't gonna never say 40 hours, I'm pretty sure, but you never know. But about 10 hours a week is how I do it. And that 82K is from one of my accounts. I now work with an accountant who many of you will meet soon. I have a team called Wise Counsel, and they are here for my money, my marketing, my mindset, my manifestation, and my ministry, all the M's. And so I had to do a screenshot because one of the mentors encouraged me to show you guys what is possible for how Black women make money as a life coach. And so I've initially grown from becoming a certified personal life coach to a master life coach to a master life coach certification trainer. And most recently, with bringing the training online, I am now the certifying body for Black women Christian life coach certification. Whoop, whoop. Somebody say, but God, okay? So it's been a journey. It's been a process. I love that I'm still learning, taking notes, adding to it, making it better and better for you, because it's time for you to show up, sis, okay? So now I'm in the top 10% of life coach industry earners, providing that information, insight, impact, income, influence as the leading lady of legacy. And you guys remember the documentary South film we saw yesterday called Lady of Legacy? Well, you become a lady of legacy when you come get certified with me as a Black woman Christian certified life coach. And again, legacy stands for Ladies Empowering Generations and Coaching You. It's so powerful. We talk more about it in the training. You get to meet some of our legacies. That's what I call y'all. But this, again, represents one stream of coaching income from one of our several accounts. And by our, I mean me, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, myself, and I. That's my team here. We did recently hire a part-time VA who lives in Kenya. Her name is Eva, or Eve, or E. We switch between all the, depends on how she signs her name that day on the assignment. But she has really helped us to catch up from all the work that I had to put to the side in order to show up here. So after this masterclass with me over the next few days, including yesterday, you'll have the opportunity to do this for yourself as well. Those of you who said you can see your name on a certificate, how many can use an extra $82,805.72? Let me see you in the comments real quick, okay? Because you'll be able to do this in much less time than it took me when you follow my model. And I'm going to show you my model as we go throughout the rest of our masterclass. So make sure you set your alarms, make sure you show up. Don't depend on these replays, y'all. You just never, ever know, okay? So I have to throw that in there. But it's best when you show up live, take notes, and engage in the masterclass. You just never know what you'll find. So here is an additional stream of income. We have a line of tennis shoes. Yep, our own sneakers. They're in my closet. I should have brought them out for you guys. We have several t-shirts. The coaches that trained with me, the first 50, we call them the founding 50. They train here online. They got a t-shirt. I always wear my t-shirt. My t-shirts are black. On the back of the shirts are our coaching numbers. We put a pause on the shirts right now because, Lord, when it gets over 50 and you're multiplying it times $45 to get them to each of you guys, and I'm footing the bill, that's a whole mortgage payment, okay? So we've slowed down, but really, I'm giving my t-shirt designers a chance to order in bulk. and mail out through the mailing system. Georgia's mailing system is just now getting back on track from the pandemic. And so we had to shut down t-shirt orders until the orders that were already out there showed up, because a lot of orders started getting missing. Okay. And I can't just throw away money for it to get lost. Okay. So I share that because this was a part of our product line, including our long sleeve shirts, our caps. We do have coffee mugs that our coaches can order as a part of their graduation gifts. I don't think I saw you on here, Brenda, but if you watch the replay, you know yours is in the mail. She's one of our recent coaches. And here I am in what I call the Honda. I drive a 2-seater Honda sports car. She is my baby, y'all. She's a grown woman, 24 years old. But she is a classic, a collectible, an antique, and I get offers for her all the time. People stop me on the streets. They yell through their window, "You want to sell your car?" Nope. I just want to go get something to eat, because that's probably where I'm going in the Honda. So this day I was coming from the t-shirt designer. She surprised me with a mug. What is that in my hand? A water bottle. I had on my hat, on my t-shirt, and I pulled over in the Honda, seatbelt on. I was safe, y'all, to take a picture for you guys to show you this additional stream of marketing merchandise. You too, as a coach, can do this, where your clients wear your shirts, your hats, drink out of your mugs on camera. I always encourage our coaches to drink on camera. I usually have my mug around here, but recently I'm drinking out of my Starbucks cups because I paid for that too. However, this all helps you market your coaching company. And so these represent additional streams of income that you can add to things like speaking, whether you speak live on stage as a coach and sell your products and your coaching. You can coach one-on-one or in a group setting of 2 or more people. That's considered group coaching in our world. There are also things like trainings, kind of like what I'm doing here, kind of like what you're going to join me in when you become one of our professionally trained, skilled, qualified, certified Black women Christian coaches, right? You can host your own summits, your own conferences. You can have monthly memberships and mentorships. These represent just some of the unlimited ways there are to make money. And you don't have to do coaching full-time if you don't want to. Most coaches will never quit their full-time job just to coach. But if you're bold and you believe in yourself, the opportunities and the income is endless. This here is Dr. Michael J. Duckett. He is the man who deemed me Master Life Coach. He trained me as a life coach, and then I partnered with him for about 3 years to train my first 110 coaches. And he posted in our private Facebook group that I represent a person. He says, have you ever met a person and knew you were standing in the presence of greatness? That is what it's like when I met AJ. She is committed to loving and serving people in all her work and is a powerful life coach. And this was several years ago, but to have my first $1 million mentor, my business partner formerly, and someone who just believed in the vision God gave me about serving people as a coach, to put it out there publicly, it just out of the blue, that represented something that I wanted to share. So this is what I mean when I say, when you become a coach, you're not the only one singing your praises. You have to have other people speaking up for you, and that represents this here today. So coaching can be delivered in the following 8 coaching delivery modales. So make sure you're taking notes, you're writing down. You can take notes in the comments, because you're going to come back and screenshot and recapture all of this information, right? So the first way you can deliver coaching is in person. That's one-on-one coaching. That's what I'm doing here. This is me and my very first coaching client ever. Her name is Cassia. Cassia lives in my little small hometown of Douglasville, Georgia, where I was living at the time. We met in the back of a honey baked ham in Douglasville because it was a free space. Sometimes you could order food. You didn't always have to. I'm vegan now, so that would drive me crazy to sit there and smell ham. I know how meat tastes, okay? But you know, honey baked ham is the bomb. So we would sit back there. I had a photographer come take pictures of us. I'm working on both of our laptops, got my notebook and pen out, and we're talking through her vision. She agreed to let me coach her for 12 sessions for free, because straight out of training, I wanted to make sure that I was familiar with all the ways to deliver coaching. And I told her exactly what I was going to do. And she said, okay. And so who wouldn't want some free coaching, right? So you got one-on-one, face-to-face. There's also video coaching, phone coaching. Audio coaching. There's a thing in Facebook Messenger where you can send audio messages. I don't know the limit. It used to be 60 seconds, but they increased it. But you can coach on audio only if you would like. You can coach via text message or email. You can also do like what I've done and add your coaching style to books. And so this is print books, this is ebooks, this is audio books. I've been to the studio and recorded some of my books. And so things like classes, trainings, workshops, courses, digital products. So many of you guys who have joined us here in the Future Black Life Coach Facebook group have said that these are some of the things that you also want to do in addition to getting certified as a coach. And so again, my first coaching client, Cassia, was a nonprofit organization leader, and she's now using the impact of her coaching sessions to advocate for social change in her community. She's a local politician now. So this was back in 2013, 2014, and she trusted me with her vision for her business to move forward. And so now she sings my praises as a testimonial on my website. There's also group coaching. This is me and Patty. Patty is one of my favorite people here in West Georgia. Okay, we'll say that. She takes up a whole lot of space when she's in the room. She comes to me and she grabs my face and she hugs me and tells me how proud she is. Now, as you can see, Patty does not represent a Black woman Christian certified life coach, but she was one of my very first coaching clients. Her and Dawn, who you see sitting in the middle, they would come. We're in a private training room in our local mall at Belk's. Y'all know what Belk's is, or Dillard's. They have training rooms. And so this particular training room, as long as you asked, I guess, the right person and nicely, they would give it to us for free. So for 6 weeks, they each paid me about $350, $375 to come train with me. And I recorded us. Our video is still up on YouTube. And so that's what I did, going from one-on-one coaching, later branching out to offer live weekly workshops and group coaching programs for women entrepreneurs in my hometown. Then I started teaching my own workshops. They got bigger, as you guys can see. We got 4 people here. One was one of my interns. One is my really good friend. Of course, she didn't pay. We had our food sponsored from a local Bojangles. Again, this is pre-vegan. So we had some fried chicken, some green beans, some biscuits. Y'all know how it is. And they supported us in addition to the workspace we were in. It was hosted, what do you call those? Their workspaces, co-work spaces. There was a new co-work space in my hometown, $1 million project they had put into restoring this building. And just as a give back to businesses in the community, they would let us come in and rent this space for free. So why not go host an event and charge? I think I charged like $25, y'all. This was back in like 2014, okay? So as my life coaching company grew, I also became a well-known speaker. And this is just a representation of one of our classes. You see a lady next to the friend that's hanging over my shoulder. She said this was the best workshop she had ever been to, you guys. So for that to be one of my first classes coming out the gate as a new coach, that was inspiration to keep going. And so people who heard me speak, they loved my confidence that I had in myself and my coaching business. And they also learned that I was a certified life coach. So they started to ask how they too could become a coach. And so that's when I partnered with the training company that trained me and became an affiliate. So that's another way of making money as a coach, sending people to who coached and who certified and trained you, right? And so then it led to classes. So they got bigger and bigger. This was just a screenshot. We had another intern behind the camera. This was here in Atlanta at a bigger co-work space where I worked out a partnership with them, where I would be the face of their organization. So anytime someone came in to see the space, or they were scouting it to host an event there, I was there. I also helped them prep food and work out the logistics of events, which meant to me, I got to make the place look cute for their events and eat for free and hang out. So I literally had a key to this building. And in exchange, I got to host my workshops there for free and didn't have to pay a fee. So I rallied the people that I knew who had heard me speak, who had been following me online, and I gathered them together. Some of them carpooled and they drove to my training in Atlanta. I think we had like 8 people around the table this time. And so still my classes represented all types. I think this was one of my first social media workshops because these people saw me on social media and remembered my journey. And so I hosted a series of classes. And then we kept growing. I became even more recognized as a speaker, I started receiving invitations to come speak for free and paid, okay? Every speaking engagement is not paid in the beginning, but the more you grow your brand, the better it becomes. This photo that you see represents a free photo shoot that I got just by applying, telling people what I was doing in the community. Hey, I'm a new life coach. Here's my vision. Here's the work that I've done. You know, let me know how we can partner. Local photographer was giving away free photo sessions and invited me and one of my coaching clients to come in and do a photo shoot. So this is one of the pictures. This was like in 2010. I still use this picture today. I am still just as gorgeous. Now, when I, don't look like this anymore, then I will consider switching it up, going to do another photo shoot. And I've done other photo shoots since, but these are my faves. So I stick with those. And I also partnered with a PR firm who designed the side titles and things like that to tell people now she's a confirmed speaker, she's a storyteller, she's an author. And so this was my speaker banner. And I would use this from time to time when I would get speaking engagements. So again, just representing other ways Black women, Christian certified life coaches get paid. I mentioned becoming an affiliate and a 3-year training partner with the same life coach certification training company that certified me. This is a better picture of Dr. Duckett. This was him handing over the reins to his training company for the next 3 years, where I certified my first 110 coaches. And so just his letter of recommendation saying, hey, I've witnessed her dedication and her work and her expansion within the coaching industry. She has real world and personal and professional experience. So that said a lot. Again, getting that confirmation, that stamp of approval. Remember in our definition yesterday when I mentioned the definition of a Black woman Christian life coach certification training is that you're not only singing your praises, but you have this document. Now you have what's called social proof, like testimonials of people singing your praises. And you have the backing to show that you know what you're doing. You're not just walking around telling people how great you are as a coach and you haven't been trained, right? So these are some just simple ways that I slowly got into, okay? But let me tell you what I discovered. So this is me in one of our sold out live trainings here in Atlanta, Georgia, representing all walks of life, male, female, Black, white, gay, straight, Christians. I'm going to tell you all the titles that I've seen come through my training doors, live and live stream. But we had a professional photographer, a local entrepreneur who I coached in exchange for some free photos. And he came and did a professional photo shoot here in Atlanta. And we packed the house that day. He could only get one side of the room at a time because it was a small training room, but we had a ball, okay? So what I noticed is that future Black women life coaches, as they would come through the training doors, I would get a more clear vision and picture of how I wanted to serve them better. So by the time my partnership was up with my training company that certified me, I knew exactly how I wanted to show up for you guys. I said, there are future Black women Christian certified life coaches that I could really help, especially during things like the Black Lives Matter movement, the height of racial riots and wars and the tension that was just building in America over the last couple years. And so I wrote a letter to you guys, and I'm going to read just a little bit of it. So it says, future Black woman, Christian certified life coach. Did you know that Black women are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs in the United States? But 70% make less than $25,000 a year. Now, these two statistics come from, number one, the book called Soar by Bishop T.D. Jakes. He used to run the conference Woman Thou Art Loosed. So I think he knows what he's talking about, serving Black Christian women. And then also the U.S. Women's Chamber of Commerce came here to Atlanta to do an event. And this is their statistic that lets us know, yeah, Black women are getting into business for themselves, whether it's, coaching part-time, full-time, whatever it is, but they're not overcoming what is known here in Georgia as the poverty line. $25,000 a year represents poverty. And it's true that this statistic is so wide. I told you guys, Black women represent less than 9% of the life coaching industry. And the life coaching industry is a $24 billion industry. So if you want some of those billions, let me see some emojis in the comments. Let me see some in the comments, because it's really time for us to show up. That's why now is the best time. Now is the best time to become a professionally trained, skilled, qualified, certified life coach. But Here's the problem. You, and I'm going to talk to you one by one, okay? So I'm saying this once, but everybody's getting a different message, but I'm talking just to you, okay? I see you, Patrina. She's like, let's get this money down here in the Cayman Islands. So here's the problem. You, Black woman, you've often been told that you're such a great listener. You're so easy to talk to. You are just, oh my gosh, this great person, right? Friends tell you all the time. Someone stopped me the other day. I was getting out of my car and she told me how people tell her how great of a listener she was. And all I did was complimented her outfit. She'll probably watch this training. Hey, Diva. We just had a conversation. She joined us here in the Facebook group, but she said the same thing. People tell her how great of a listener she is. Maybe you too have even started to research how to get paid for those great listening skills and all those coaching qualities that we talked about yesterday in our training. And so you want to know how to use these skills, but maybe you've been trying to think through that decision, or maybe you've been trying to think through what people are telling you to become a certified life coach. So if you're like a lot of the people that I talk to, you start looking into it. But you get overwhelmed with information, and before you know it, it's been several months and you're still not any closer to a decision than when you first started researching. And so this means, unfortunately, that you may be on your way to becoming a part of that statistic of Black women who never make the difference in the world that they know they are born to make. And so you could make that difference as a life coach if you chose to. Like, your dream of leaving a legacy and the impact you could have on the world as a coach does not have to go to the grave with you, like I've seen a lot of coaches do, unfortunately. I have seen some of the coaches that I've trained passed away. Some started to get out there, some did not. It is a part of life. It is a part of the coaching cycle. And that's why I push so hard for you to walk in your purpose, impact those generations while you have time, because you want that dream to live on beyond you. And so that's why I talk about living a legacy and leaving a legacy. And so this masterclass, my training, which I'll share more about coming up in the next few days, is that solution to you finally stepping out. You don't have to figure this out all on your own. You don't have to get overwhelmed or shut down because of so much information that you can't possibly make a decision. So the masterclass that you're a part of now is why I'm showing up, to introduce you to what that process looks like with you becoming a professionally trained, skilled, qualified, certified life coach. So let me see if that sounds good to some of you who know you're in the right place. Because if you notice, our numbers look a little different today. Yesterday, we had a full house. We had 200 plus comments after our training. Today, only the real ones showed up who are super serious and sticking to this dream. So dreamers, let's just imagine really quickly, if you knew how and where to get certified. Excuse me, let me get a sip of water. I'm getting hot, I'm getting excited, y'all. I really love teaching this because it's not being taught like this. So let me calm down a little bit. Excuse me. I told y'all about my allergies yesterday. Pollen is in the air. But imagine with me that you already knew where to start. You already knew where to go to get certified really quickly as a Black life coach. Imagine with me that you had that piece of paper in your hand that read your name, enter your name here, and it said certified life coach. How would you feel? Type that in the comments real quick, okay? How would you feel to have that piece of paper in your hand? Excuse me. Imagine that you also had the confidence. You got the knowledge you need. You got the confidence. You got the skills. Now you have this working blueprint of exactly where and how to even find your coaching clients. And not just find them, but coach them consistently. Many of you in yesterday's training said that part. You tired coaching for free, you know, or you thought you were coaching, but it hasn't turned into money just yet. Let me see, okay? Denisha says elated and ready. I know that's right. And so If you had those skills, you had the confidence, you had the blueprint for exactly where and how to find those clients to show up for them consistently as their coach, and then bring in more income than you've ever made for yourself in business. Y'all, I currently make more money than I've ever made in my life working for myself part-time. Like, I feel guilty for the amount of naps I take and the amount of work that I just don't do. And I can pass off now to my assistant. This is the most money that I've ever made. However, I am grateful every day. And I have these conversations with people that I meet that we're talking about coaching and what coaching is and how much money coaches make. I can make any amount of money in my coaching company. The fact that I make it for myself, by myself, doing something I love, I'm a millionaire. You can't tell me I'm not, right? I won't believe you. It's different when you're making that money for yourself versus making it for someone else. So I share that vision with you. How would it feel for you to make more money for yourself than you've ever made? Like, that's amazing. So I'm going to run through some of the pictures of the coaches. I told you guys I've trained about 110 certified life coaches all over North America and the Cayman Islands. Live here in Atlanta for about 3 years. I miss it. I loved it. And I'm trying to figure out how to bring it back to those of you who are itching to come to Atlanta. But for now, we're online, okay? So again, these are just some of our coaches. You'll see male, female, black, white. So I wasn't always just Black woman Christian certified life coaches, okay? So I know all of these coaches by name. I can tell you their stories. They represent everywhere. Unfortunately, one of the coaches in the pictures that you'll see, again, is no longer with us. I called to check on him, and his wife told me that he passed away. He was a preacher, and he passed away one Sunday as he walked off the pulpit. And it just hit me even harder that I got to get out here with this message faster and stronger. Getting into classes like this where we had a sold out full house. Y'all see food on my desk. I would eat and train, take off my shoes and train. We had coffee, tea, water. We got in and we did the doggone thing. And that's why I'm here online. So you can come join us, because don't we look like a big old family? We look like a choir right here. But we have a ball in our trainings. And a lot of our coaches are doing great things. From my left, maybe it's your left too on the screen, I'm not sure, but the only man in this picture, the bald head standing next to me, I'm the one with the foot out. That's Coach Lorenzo. He's one of our male coaches. He sits behind the scenes to support you as a Black woman who's trained with me, because he knows what it's like to go through my training. He's a podcast host, and he's always looking for speakers. So when you come get certified with me, he's one of our people that's on my rosters that I share you guys with if you're looking to add speaking to your resume. First ladies, relationship, singles ministry leaders, like so many titles are represented in these pictures. I want to tell y'all all of their stories, but we don't have enough time. Joy, the lady's kind of standing in the middle next to me. She has a hand on her hip. She came to class one day to train with me here in Atlanta. I think they drove up from Alabama. It was a carload of them that day. And she wanted to become a coach. And then she also wanted to become an author. 30 days after this picture was taken, I had her on the Amazon #1 bestsellers list with her first book. She was also doing her book signing. And so now I give that program away for free when you come train with me, to show you how I help Joy and so many other coaches write their first book. This is me and some former trainers that would train with me in the old company, as well as so many visionaries, you guys. Like, that's what excited me. So many stories I could tell. We have had people from all walks of life, blind, dyslexic, multiple sclerosis. We had a lady who told me later in class that she had murdered her ex-husband. And I said, what? You know, like, I was turned toward the board that time. And I was like, God, thank you. Because if she would have seen my face. But as a coach, I could still coach her. So she had, you know, paid her dues, went to trial. She was found not guilty, and she was ready to put it in a book. And so she came to me to help her write her book. Y'all, there are so many stories. This is Cecilia in the yellow shirt. She trained with us 3 times. She took the online training, and she came to train with me twice here in Atlanta. So many people are committed coaches. They're committed to getting this knowledge out into the world. Cecilia was one of our coaches. I call her Cecilia. She also goes by Cicely. But she was one of our coaches who helped her coaching client reach success that surpassed hers. And so I had to coach her through how it feels to be so good as a coach. I mean, she took the training 3 times. So she's a master at this now. And she couldn't be jealous of her client now. Like, that was what I had to coach her through. Can you imagine coaching someone so well that they surpass your success? Y'all. So these are our coaches. Some represent childhood friends that see me train here in Atlanta. They're like, I got to come be a part of what you're doing. Let me in this class. And so they came and trained with me. So we have tons of pictures. Some faces you may recognize, some you may not. But again, I know them all. I know their stories. Everyone has a story about training with Dr. AJ, okay? We have so many occupations that are represented here as well. And I'll share more about that coming up as well. So I'm going to let y'all look at the rest of our pictures real quick. Hello, Tomiko Moore. So here is one of the final pictures I wanted to show you of our life coaches. And this young lady that's in a wheelchair, I have her circled. Her name is Keisha Green. You may know her, you may not. You probably soon will. I'll tell you her story in just a moment. So the people that have trained with me over the last few years have been, let me know. Now I'm going to run through some titles. Let me know if I call out your title, okay? I want to know if you believe that your specific like career choice could also add coaching to what it is. I mean, I know you believe it because you're here. And so I want to know if I say your title, if we've already trained someone in your area. Now, of course, you can still come train with us. But when people say, you know, who becomes a coach? Who is coaching for? Who really becomes a life coach? Well, I've trained consultants, trainers, managers, directors, specialists, supervisors, instructors, representatives, social workers, licensed master social workers, counselors, therapists, clinicians, prophetesses, ministers, evangelists, elders, executive assistants, business owners, teachers, principals, admission coordinators, the self-employed, practitioners, nonprofit organization leaders, ministers, pastors, reverends, deacons, bishops, doctors, first ladies, elders, leaders of singles ministry, songstresses, playwrights, a judge, youth services workers, life coaches who have already been certified, come get recertified with me, health and wellness coaches, entrepreneurs, educators, executive directors, human resources, administrators, case managers, social workers, holistic health practitioners, online ministry leaders, speakers, authors, social media influencers on the macro, micro, and mega levels, project managers, sales, direct sales, multi-level marketing and network marketers, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, rising reality TV stars, which is why I circled Keisha Green here in this chair. She's one of those, and local documentarians. Did I call out your title? Let me know in the comments because this is a lot, okay? So these are all of the titles represented, different careers who have come to train with me. Hello, Gail Dudley. How are you? This here is the new and improved Keisha Green. She went from our training to fulfilling her vision as a reality TV star that's up and coming. She started here in the Atlanta area. I'm not quite sure where she is now. This is where I found her online, in addition to more platforms, but she told me that this was coming. So she came and trained with me, got certified, bought one of my books, shared her vision, and blew up from there. And so I'm so proud of the work that she's doing. She was cast as a part of a reality TV series about amputees. And so if you notice, the ladies in the pictures all represent either something with arms, legs, feet, hands, prosthetic limbs, etc. Keisha is hilarious. She is a hoot to be around, and just to know that her vision is being fulfilled. And it started with getting certified. She's also an author, and she put her story in a book. So again, we represent all titles, all walks of life, all stories, all visions, all dreams, all walks with Christ as well. So it's just exciting to see that. So again, that's Keisha here in the chair. Now I want to help you decide your common coaching category, because this is important, and we'll wrap up from here. Because, okay, Kimberly says, yes, I follow her on social media, truly inspired. She is amazing. Like, I could barely make it through the class because she was cracking jokes just inappropriately, like stuff I couldn't say, but would make me laugh when she said it. And we had a ball that day. I remember it like it was yesterday. So again, I know everybody's story, everybody's name, can bring up the conversations we've had, etc. So let's real quick run through these 3 common coaching categories and wrap up our time together today. We're coming up on the top of the hour, but I want you to listen, and I want you to talk to me in the comments below, because there are 3 common coaching categories, and you have to choose one today. You ready? If you're ready, let me see some emojis. Hype me up, hype me up, hype me up, hype me up. Let me see. Hear myself. Okay, let me start. Number 1 is a confidant. A confidant. That's someone who is also known as the great girlfriend. You may wear this title. I see you. Thank you for the hype. I see you. I'm hype, feeling the love. The confidant is also known as the great girlfriend. Let me tell you about you real quick. Okay, you ready? Now, keep in mind, you may have all of these categories, but you got to choose one. So, thank you, Patrina. As the confidant or the great girlfriend, you have history with the people that you usually try to help. That's why I say a lot of you guys come train with me and you think you've already been coaching when really you've just been a confidant or a great girlfriend. What that means is the people you try to help are usually your friends or family. And maybe you went to school together, you grew up in church together, they're your childhood friend, you have some type of life occurrence in common with your friend. You're also friend biased. And what that means is, like, if they call you with a problem or something that happened in their life and they want your help as an uncertified coach, you usually agree with them and you take sides with your friend because you don't want to offend them. You don't want to step on their toes. You don't want to do anything or risk losing the friendship. Let me see some hand raises if you've been the confidant or the great girlfriend, because I got a few more qualities of you, and it's okay. It's okay to admit this, you know? So maybe you're afraid of the backlash if you question your friend. And so you don't really want to play devil's advocate or have opposing views to your friend. Or maybe you've also found that you often shrink down your gifts in conversation with your friends because you know they kind of wouldn't respect your positioning on different topics. Maybe you feel like your gift won't be respected enough to say something to your friend, even if you see something. Remember, we talked about how a really good coach is not an advice giver or an opinion sharer. And so sometimes you don't say nothing. You're like, okay, they got to learn on their own. So you shrink down just a little bit. I don't see no amen corner, so maybe I ain't talking to y'all. I ain't stepping on your toes yet. I'm coming for you. I'm coming down your lane. Because the final thing of being that confidant or that great girlfriend is you feel like your gift won't be respected enough to say something to your friends, even if you know it might help them have a breakthrough, but you only share your thoughts or your feelings and maybe sometimes your opinions. How many confidants do we have in the room? And it's okay. This is a safe space. Y'all told me yesterday. You're glad you came to the training yesterday. This was so inspiring, so informative, so informative. You felt like you were at home. You felt safe. You were looking forward to today. This is still that safe space, no judgment. I just need you to make a decision. Are you a confidant? You can put a 1, you can just let me know you that friend, the great girlfriend. Number 2 in our common coaching categories is known as the marvelous mentor. As the marvelous mentor, you're a strategist. You're someone who is that go-to for mapping out a plan or a path for others to follow. So that means, for example, when I teach and train, and I know you want to become a speaker, notice how I pointed out one of our coaches who owns a podcast, and I can send him a message saying, hey, so-and-so is one of our certified coaches. She's going to tell you I sent her. Here's who she is. Here's the connection. That's a mentor. I heard a mentor be described like this. You can say, tell them I sent you, and it opens up doors and windows. So a mentor is pointing to where to go, telling people where to go in the right direction. So you point in the right direction, you open up doors, and you have them drop your name when they get there. You say, tell them I sent you. How many mentors are in the room? Because here's your final description in that category. So you're a marvelous mentor or a consultant. Okay, that's category number 2. As a mentor, you also analyze, you assess, you evaluate situations before going in. Like you want all the tea. You like, what had happened? You ask a lot of questions. You want to get to the bottom of the issue or the problem, because you tend to tell people what to do. You should have did this. You could have did this. Child, if I was you, I would have did this. That's you, marvelous mentor, aka consultant. You tell people what to do. You're an expert advice giver. You are a wisdom sharer, and you're very opinionated. Remember, we talked about being nosy by nature in yesterday's class. Well, you not only are nosy, but you share your opinion about that situationship that you learn about, because you aim to keep others from making mistakes. Any consultants in the room? So category 1, confidant. Category 2, consultant. Category 3, you guessed it, a coach. I need y'all to make a decision on tonight. I need you to talk to me in the comments right now, because this is the final category. Let me know if this describes you, because this is the confident coach. You love to connect. You know how, or you're willing to learn how to optimize questions and do what we call leverage listening. That means that just like you guys tonight, when I say put something in the comments and you respond, I can take your response and I can add it to what's coming up next. I can say, what are you expecting out of today? And you can tell me, and I can make sure those expectations are met. That's leveraged listening. You also want to help others create an action plan. That's what coaches do. You're a great communicator. You're great at listening. You're also great at hearing. Remember, we said there are 2 different things. You could be listening, you know, sounds around you, you know, you're focusing, you're listening, but when you hear something, you might pause and look. And then you focus in, you're listening. So you're great at both hearing and listening. You're humble, you're honest. You have a heart to serve, you're spirit-led, you're patient, you're willing to listen even more and ask really good questions and wait on that person to come up with their own answers. I need to see y'all in the comments. It's enough of y'all on here to talk to me real quick, because we're about to wrap up. Are you a confidant, aka the great girlfriend? Are you a consultant, aka the marvelous mentor? Or are you the confident coach? Let me see you. Are you 1, 2, or 3? Because those are our 3 coaching categories. Katrina says 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. I love it. And again, it's okay if you have a little bit of all of these qualities in you. As a professionally trained, skilled, qualified Black woman, Christian certified life coach, I'm going to walk you through how to pull out more of those coaching qualities. So again, make sure you set your alarm. Make sure you show up in the masterclass. We got some goodies coming up for you in tomorrow's training. Days 4 and 5, we're going to spend about 90 minutes together, really hashing out how to pull these qualities out of you, how to make money from these qualities, because it's time. Coach Helen says all 3. Now, Coach Helen, you know better. Coach Helen's one of our coaches, recently certified. And Denisha says, Coach over here. I know that's right. I see your hand raised. Yes. So those are the 3 common coach categories. Now I'm going to let you hear from one of our coaches who is telling you to set aside some time to do something for yourself that will move you one step closer to the goal of being that coach, because you can do it. So real quick, we're going to hear from Coach Alexis from Texas. Here we go.
So if there was a lady who has that excuse of life is going on, so much is happening, I don't know, Coach AJ, maybe one day, what would you tell her about sitting still and taking the 1-day life coach certification training with the International Center for Life Coach Training, LLC.
I would tell her life is going to always happen and life is always going to go on. Just take 8 hours, 1 day, to set aside some time to do something for yourself that will move you one step closer to a goal that you have. Because you can do it.
So Coach Alexis is telling you you could do it. Did y'all hear her say you can do it? So this is Coach Alexis. That was like her quick 30-second answer to how becoming a certified life coach with me has helped her as someone who learns different. By learn different, remember I told you guys I have been a speaker for ADD.org. We have had coaches who have survived COVID, near-death experiences, multiple sclerosis, so many other learning disorders, if you will. Our training is catered to those of you who learn different. And it's because I have a degree in training and development. And so when I show up on platforms like this, notice how I'm taking our training and I'm breaking it down daily. That's for those of you with short attention spans. Notice we have a PowerPoint presentation. That's for you visual learners. Notice we have videos. That's for you audio learners. I'm here with you live presenting all 3 learning styles. And that's what Coach Alexis in Texas represents. And because our training is presented to cover the kinesthetic learner who is the hands-on, needs to touch, needs to feel, needs to demonstrate that skill, the visual learner who needs to print out her workbook and highlight, write notes, 3-hole punch and put it in a 3-ring binder. And then the auditory learner, we have some listening sessions on there for you as well. Coach Alexis was allowed, her and another coach in Texas, Coach Erica, who trained with me live, they both have adult diagnosed ADD, ADHD, and then again, all the other learning styles that I mentioned. People have quarantined and shut themselves in to just sit and focus on this training. They're able to go back and hear it again. That's why I'm leaving the replays up for you guys. But this is how we train in our life coach certification training as well. And it's designed to be a 1-day process. That's why she mentioned 8 hours. But so is this masterclass throughout the week. You can go back and listen to the replays. It's basically an 8-hour training that I've broken down over about 5 days. But with Coach Alexis being able to get her learning needs met, she was presented with an amazing opportunity to provide group coaching to domestic violence survivors throughout the city of Houston in Texas. I thought that was so cool. I sat on the phone with her and the organization, and we talked through her terms as a coach. Yes, she has terms. And so now she's able to apply the knowledge she has, helping women in her community overcome their story and be better. That's what a coach helps you do. So real quick, in our last 2 minutes together, give me your number 1 takeaway from today. Did you learn anything about yourself? I saw a lot of you guys are number 3s on our scale of common coaching categories. You say you're that confident coach. Well, confident coaches, what's one thing you're walking away with on today? Tell me real quick, because we're going to wrap up here. I'm letting you know tomorrow, day 3, we're going to talk about more of your ahas and your takeaways. We're going to talk about what $145,000 represents. That's a lot of money, ain't it? You're going to learn what we call the C3 method to help you confidently convert coaching conversations to clients' cash checks and credit cards using 3 case studies and 2 success stories of our coaches. One who made $3,000 in her first 2 weeks as a Black woman Christian certified life coach. You've seen her in the documentary on yesterday. If you didn't see the documentary, go back and watch the replay real quick. I'm going to also later in our training give you what's called a coach certification checklist so you can know what to look for when you do get certified. And we're going to go through the Christian coaching personality assessment. Remember the 8 modales of delivering coaching and how I worked through my first coaching client with all the modales to test it out to see what I was getting into? You're going to pick and choose which one you think will work best for you if you've never experienced coaching for yourself, or especially if you've never been in a coaching position. And so your personality and how you rank on our assessment is going to tell you what modal is best for you. And then we're going to cover coaching categories. There are 10 of those. So make sure you bring your journals and your pens, your cute little cup of juice water. And we're going to dive into what it looks like for you to incorporate all of this knowledge and come train with us in our Black Woman Christian Life Coach certification training. Patrina says her takeaway from today is that I can do this. That's what an amen and a hallelujah, okay? So that's all I have for today. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you setting out time out of your busy schedules to tell everybody around you to hush and you plug in, whether you got to plug your ears with some headsets and get it going, or whether you're watching the replay. Let me know, because I want to know your biggest aha moments, your biggest takeaways. Are you learning anything from our time together? Because we have so much more fun that is coming up. So make sure you set your alarm, set your notification, stay tuned. Let me know that you'll be here. Let me know what you walked away with from today. And until we meet again, my friends, remember, there is someone somewhere. They are waiting on you, coach, to walk in your destiny. Show up tomorrow so they can walk into theirs, because as you now know, when you impact one life, you impact generations. As a Black woman Christian certified life coach, you're on your way to that. When you let your light shine, you're giving others permission to do the same. Coach Helen is saying, I'm confident I can do this, because basically I have really been doing this already, but I learned more here. So now, as one of our certified life coaches, Coach Helen is equipped to go out and impact her one person and change generations. Are y'all ready? Let me see some emojis as we roll out like Ludacris. Roll out. And I'm going to jump in this other meeting. Put your emojis here. Replay viewers, let me know you watched the replay, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat place. Set your alarms. Thank y'all. God bless. Bye, future Black Life Coaches.